Until now, we've simply taken Rob Lowe for granted, but where did our sense of Rob Lowe come from? Canada. This is the Rob Lowe origin story, 1986's Youngblood. This isn't the Rob Lowe we know. This is Dean Youngblood arriving in Canada to play professional hockey, but instead of immediately taking over every room he walks into, Rob Lowe becomes a follower, almost religious in his search for guidance, but he has found something more compelling than any god: Patrick Swayze. How does a soft soul like Rob Lowe find gravitas while still completely remaining open to the world around him? Patrick Swayze. And the coach's daughter Jessie, who is in complete control of the relationship. She makes him chase her. This includes into a bookstore where Rob Lowe secretly picks up Canada's closest thing to porn in 1986, a racy used paperback. Let's not think too hard about how used. Jesse's the one turning him down. Jesse spends the film looking at Rob Lowe with much more security, always holding something back in a way that I can only describe as she's giving Rob Lowe. Young, impressionable Rob Lowe boards with a woman apparently entrusted with housing young hockey players and who, by their own proud admission, has slept with most of them. This is treated as perfectly ordinary. Nobody calls the police. Nobody raises an eyebrow. Tea is served. This is Canada after all. This is all deeply unsettling, not just by safeguarding standards, but because for perhaps the first time in our investigation, Rob Lowe isn't the finished product. He's an apprentice. Patrick Swayze has taken it upon himself to teach Rob Lowe how to Swayze. But because you can't actually become Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe is forced to become the next closest thing: Rob Lowe. Now, who taught Patrick Swayze how to Swayze? We may never know. The lessons, however, are straightforward: brotherhood, teamwork, eating flowers for reasons that never fully get explained. The Swayze teaching methods include doing shots to embarrass the new guy and everyone having a go at shaving Rob Lowe's balls. It's important to remember that all of this is in service of the sport that truly matters: violence. Research finding: left unattended, Rob Lowe appears unlikely to become Rob Lowe. He starts dating the coach's daughter. They get up to some charming first date activities like pretending he's been killed and ruining a perfectly pleasant senior citizen skating session. That ice is reserved for fighting. Get your snack table off of there. The coach, responding to this new romance, benches Rob Lowe, the fastest player on his team. Obviously, the team starts losing immediately, proving that personal grudges are really no substitute for good roster management. Because this film, this game, and this town are just about busting ass, enough players become so seriously injured that Rob Lowe becomes the only option left. Eventually, the game descends into exactly what we've been training for. Players are fighting on the ice. Players are fighting in the benches. The coach is fighting spectators. I don't know enough about hockey to tell you whether any of this is legal, but frankly, I think not knowing about hockey is becoming a genuine advantage in this film. The game somehow continues. Somebody appears to win. I genuinely couldn't tell you who. And when it feels like we've reached our allotted violence quota for the evening, Racky blindsides Swayze. Really? Just stunned silence that somehow somebody got hurt? What? How? We were supposed to kill everybody before anybody got hurt. Rob Lowe is devastated, perhaps because Patrick Swayze is hurt, definitely because he didn't have the freshly shaved balls to immediately hurt the guy who did it. The training seems to have failed. Rob Lowe leaves the team and returns to the family farm. Responsibility for Rob Lowe's training now falls to the remaining faculty. His older brother takes over. His father takes over. Together, they continue teaching Rob Lowe the true meaning of discovering your inner Rob Lowe, which is discovered by punching dudes on ice. Elbows up, Rob. Elbows up. His brother teaches him off the ice. His father teaches him on the ice. We watch them struggle together, father and son, trying to prepare the family's only remaining uninjured child for the realities of professional hockey. And naturally, because Youngblood has now completely retrained us, all we really want is for Rob Lowe to beat his hardworking senior citizen farmer father's ass all over that ice. Rob Lowe returns to the team, and by this point, the film has done something remarkable. It hasn't just trained Rob Lowe, it's trained us. Because at the beginning of Youngblood, you might think the point of hockey is to skate quickly, pass well, score goals, and avoid life-altering head injuries. By the end, that feels almost naive. Rob Lowe gets a penalty shot. He scores the winning goal. The game should be over, but of course, it isn't. The real sport has not yet been completed. There is still a man who needs punching. His brother taught him how to fight. His father taught him how to fight on ice. Patrick Swayze taught him how to Swayze. Jesse taught him focus. Mrs. McGill taught him other things. And now Rob Lowe is ready. Rob Lowe knocks Rocky's teeth out of his head. The crowd goes wild. The team carries Rob Lowe off triumphantly from the ice, leaving Rocky's broken body behind, and we finally understand what this film has been trying to teach us all along. How do you make Rob Lowe? You send him to Canada, give him Patrick Swayze, shave his balls, injure his mentor, return him to the farm, teach him how to punch, and wait until he becomes the sort of man who scores the winning goal, before immediately beating another man unconscious after the game is already over. When Rob Lowe meets a group of young hockey players after the game, you realize that he might actually have the makings of a great leader. The burden and privilege of becoming a role model is made clear, like Rob Lowe's bare ass at the 14-minute mark. Research finding. Somewhere along the way, we completed the course too. By the final scene, when Rob Lowe embraces Jesse on the ice, the movie wants us to feel romance. And we do. Almost. But a small part of us is waiting for her to pull his jersey over his head, drive her knee into his chest, and finish the job, which means the experiment has worked. Rob Lowe became Rob Lowe. There are many more Rob Lowe films to examine. The investigation continues.